Hello, YouTube. So many years ago, I prayed and I wanted to meet God in the Spirit. So I went to bed, and before I went to bed, I said, "God, I want to meet you in the Spirit." And God says He is not a respecter of persons. So many of the things that happen in the Bible can happen to us if we have faith. Faith is like a credit card. You can only buy what your faith can afford. So that night, when I prayed that, I went to sleep, and I was taken in the Spirit, and I was moving very fast. It's a speed beyond comprehension. And it wasn't like straight up, it was more kind of like at an angle like this. And I think there were angels guiding me. I don't remember exactly that time. But I was moving through this darkness so fast that my eyes couldn't focus. And so as I was being propelled through the heavens, I said, I can't do this. I can't see where I'm going. I can't do this. I'm too afraid. So anyway, I stopped, and then I went back towards my sleeping body. And it was so terrifying that I didn't try that prayer for quite a few years. So a couple more years passed, and I decided to try again. And so I went to bed and I prayed and I said, through the blood of Christ, with the faith of a child, I said, nothing but God will stop me from meeting Him. And so then I went to sleep, and that night it was the same thing. I did this time. I did sense two angels, the one on the right and one on the left of me, and I was going at that tremendous speed again. I was moving so fast, and I started to panic again. And both angels spoke in one voice, and they said, "Do not be afraid." So I expelled all my fear, and I said, you know what, God, you're going to catch me, because moving this fast, if I hit something, I'm dead. And so as soon as I let go of all my fear, and I just trusted that God would protect me, I appeared before this huge golden door. And right as I floated in through the door, I was hit with the concussion of praise. And the thing that kind of freaked me out is all these voices were singing this one song, and I did not consciously know the song, but I sang in perfect unison with them, and I sang, "Holy, holy, holy is God, and worthy of praise." And as I was being drawn into the room, as I was singing this, I remember thinking, I'm in spirit. How can I physically be making a song, a sound with my voice without any physical lungs? I remember thinking that. And when you're in spirit, you don't think about arms, you don't think about legs, which is kind of interesting. You just float. You like move by thought. So as I looked into the room, I saw God, but He looked like a seated statue. I was not permitted to see His face. It was like a force field would not let me look up. And I was being drawn towards Him. And as I was being drawn towards Him, I saw all these beautiful blue lights. They looked like laser beams. They weren't flashes, they were solid lights. To kind of give you a comparison of what it looked like, it's kind of like my lightsaber here. So you have this, it looked like this. These type of lights fill the entire room, except they were the color of electricity, like a light blue spark. So that's kind of just to give you an idea of what it looked like. And so as I was being drawn towards God in His throne, I remember thinking to myself, I thought, what are these beautiful blue lights? And a voice from above said, these are prayers that go straight to God. And so then I was drawn towards Him. I was not permitted to look at Him, to see His face, or anything like that. I was not allowed to see any of that. And the only thing God said was, I will take care of everything. And after that, I was drawn back out through the front door, and I went through the darkness, and my spirit hit my body, and I woke up. I remembered everything. It was so amazing. I was on a high for like 3 days, and is the most fascinating thing. It was such a happy feeling to realize that God, who is so far away, hears our prayers. And so a couple months passed, and we were sitting in church, and I flipped open the Bible. I'm like, okay, God, what do you want me to learn today? And it was so funny because I flipped to the Bible, and I flipped exactly to this verse, and it's in 2 Corinthians, and it says, "For we walk by faith, not by sight." And then I kind of started laughing because the first time I tried and I prayed, I asked God to meet him in spirit. I was panicked and I said, I can't do this. I can't see where I'm going. I can't see where I'm going. So it's true. It must be. We have to approach His throne boldly with faith, and so that's when I was lacking the first time. So then after that, I closed my eyes and okay, I'm like, okay, God, what else do you want me to learn? And I opened up and I opened to the Book of Revelation. And at that time in my life, I really wasn't that much into Revelation. I was more into a lot of the New Testament, every word that Jesus said. I mean, that's really where I focused, and I take God very literal at His word. And so I was blown away when I read Revelations 4:1 through Revelations 4:8. I won't go into all the details, but it was totally fascinating because I bear witness to what John saw. Many of the things that John saw, I saw, which just I was floored, especially when it talked about the lightnings flashing from the throne when John was taken into heaven, and the golden door that he saw as well. So anyway, I thought it was beautiful. You know, God did say in His Word in the end times that knowledge would be increased. You know, the world is so evil and so full of deceit and treachery. I just want God's children to know that you know what, He is real, and your faith is not in vain. So when God said, "I will take care of everything," my heart knows it to mean that's not saying that His children aren't going to endure horrible things and hard things. What it basically was telling me is, as far as the penalty of death because of sin, that is taken care of. You know, death, where is thou sting? Through Jesus, the Lamb that He did provide, we are forgiven for our sins. And so I totally understand that we may the flesh may endure some horrible things in that, but it's the spirit that can live on forever. And so you know, the sad thing is I shared this story with someone who I thought was a believer a couple weeks ago, and the guy was very rude, and he started to cut me off, and he kept yelling Jesus at me, and I think he thought I was possessed, and I looked at him and I said, you know what's sad? When someone comes bearing witness to what John saw in the Bible, it's sad that most people give it to Satan. You know what? I go, what a sad world. You know, when we hear someone that has an experience and it's confirming the Bible and what's in the Bible, and we give it to Satan. I thought it was extremely sad. Anyway, it is what it is. Well, anyway, that's all I have to share, and thank you for listening. Have a great day.